We are back talking to all kinds of athletes. We had Carrot Top on earlier. Now we're going to talk to a living legend. And I don't like the word legend. Legend is one of the most overused words.
I do like the word living, though.
Oh, no, for sure.
Good.
That's awesome. We are talking to a living legend in Dan Severn. Dan, how are you?
Oh, Randy, I'm fantastic. I mean, I'm still just living life just the way on my terms still. I like that.
Could you have imagined the atmosphere that we have here today back in the day? And, I just talked to Chuck about the word back in the day. I don't know if either one of us liked that, from many years ago, but could you have imagined this back then?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's a question that's come up many times over the years with these progressive here. And I simply just kept looking at if this sport could survive the onslaught attack from politicians, legislators trying to do away with the sport, referred to as human cockfighting. It's two gladiators, we're back in the arena and stuff like that. I just think if it can survive and continue to move forward, it will be the most incredible size event. And even though it's great, it's going to like these huge magnitudes here today, there still has not been like a Super Bowl style of an event. So it still has even additional growth that it can do.
No, absolutely. I know people don't like this as well. I once said to Otto Graham, who was the highest paid player in the NFL in the 40s. He made $40,000 a year. Tom Brady's making $180 million, whatever. Could you have imagined, have you ever laid down as you're getting ready to go to sleep and say, if I was 22 today, what I could do in mixed martial arts and the UFC?
No, I don't let that haunt me whatsoever. I mean, it's the reality is
you're not.
I made the most money at the time when I competed. And I simply know that time continues to change. If you look back 30 years ago, what did a football player make 30 years ago? What did a hockey player make? Basketball player? I made the most money at the time. I had the accolades going, so it's like going. I had my time slot. I did my thing. Life moves on.
So you're talking like an OG.
A senior citizen of reality. That's what I am.
What do you enjoy about the sport today? I know that you coach. I know that you train. I know that you're teaching. I mean, do you still watch? And when you watch, can you watch as a fan, or are you still trying to pick up pieces?
No, I can't. I will never watch it as a fan. I will always watch it, but then literally I will have a little notepad and a piece of paper, and I'm actually making critiques as to what they're missing in their game arsenal.
Right.
I still do a lot of teaching, speaking, things of that nature. I was at an event just a couple of weekends ago out in Chicago, and then they basically just brought me in to be a judge / referee. Even though
at the same time?
No. I mean, basically, there were two of them in, and we're basically just making notes and be like a judge. But when he saw my notes, because win or lose was just the one aspect, but round after round, all the notes I was making per athlete, and he picked this up. He goes, Dan, these are gold. He goes, what you just wrote down. I go, if you keep those notes, bring me back for a seminar. I go, all I gotta do is look at these notes, and I go, we could teach these elements. And he's like, done. So again, I look at it with a more critiquing type of an eye of how can I improve you, if there's any room to improve you in the first place.
So how do we improve the judging in mixed martial arts?
Get more actual competitors, former competitors, to be judges and to be referees. Great question, Randy, because I was a part of Big John McCarthy brought me in, I don't know, a year and a half or so back. He was running one of his big refereeing, coaching, judging type of things in Phoenix, Arizona. And at the time, the Arizona Athletic Commissioner, he said, sometimes I'm in Arizona, sometimes I'm back in Michigan. He just calls me up and says, Dan, are you going to be in town at this time frame? I go, they check my portable brain, my planner, and I'm like going, yep, I should be. And he's like, he says, would you mind coming on in and speaking to the group on a Monday? I go, speaking about what? He goes, you're that guy that has been with the sport from the no-holds-barred era all the way up to that mixed martial arts era. He goes, you can talk. He goes, and you can talk intelligently. We heard you before. Don't want you to go up the stand and going, okay, be like to fight. No. So so I said, sure. I go, but your prices, and he started joking. I go, let me come in and take both classes. I want to go through the judges class, and I want to go through the referees class. He goes, why? I go, I've done all aspects of this, but I go, I've never been through an actual class. I go, I want to go through one of the big John McCarthy classes, see what it's all about. It was kind of ironic because over 400 people were in both of these classes. At the beginning of each class, they would have each person stand up real quick, just to state your name, where you're from, and what your affiliation was with the sport. And there's always like 3 categories: where you actually form a competitor, a fan of it, or have you ever trained into it. And out of the 400 people, maybe 5 or 6 had ever competed into it. Everybody else fell into the fan category. Right. Watching it is one thing, but if you actually ever have trained it, or if you actually have been involved in it, you understand what's going through this athlete's mind. You understand what's happening as these punches, elbows, and knee shots are taking place. You'll know realistically when you should be stopping a match, and you won't see so many matches being stopped either prematurely or too later than what they should be. When the guys, like Rock'em Sock'em Robots, he's taking shot after shot after shot. Dude, he was basically out in the first place. Those strikes 3 through 5 right now are just you're making damaged goods. So that was the biggest take that I told him. I said, you need to get more former athletes because they understand the mindset way more.
Well, why do you think former fighters are not becoming judges? Is it because of the pay? Is it because of the time?
I don't know. I would actually think that maybe they don't know that this avenue is available to them. Maybe the UFC themselves should actually, that could be at just another level, that they have a school that is here to help train people to be referees and to be judges, because people can only be around so long, and with the abundance of matches that they have on any given weekend, you always are in need of good judges, sure, good referees.
When I know that you get around a lot, we were talking about your seminars. When are you coming back to Florida?
I'm looking at another fall tour. That's what I'm looking for. I don't have any set dates at this point in time. But I'm trying to do more things because I like educating people. That's really what it's all about. Because a lot of people, when they ask you a question, I just simply just go yes or no. I will give you a response, but I will give you the rationale why I came up with that response. For it.
What would you think if on the Ultimate Fighter, if they decided to bring a couple of the veterans in as one of the head coaches? And it doesn't necessarily have to be, you against somebody that, you fought back in the day, which would be cool. Not that you're going to fight, but just that going back in time, bringing somebody, that you had fought, whether it's Ken or whoever, just for the TV value of it, but also then you could then be coaching and training some of these up and coming young fighters.
Actually, as you said that, right, I actually thought that I thought they were doing that in the first place. I thought they were bringing back different fighters.
Well, they just brought back a couple old fighters, but they've never really brought back, 2 old fighters to be the head coach. To like now it's Juliana Pena and Amanda Nunes. They're going to fight in a couple months again. I just think it would be cool to have somebody like you come back. Let the younger generation even know who you are that they may not. Would be a great avenue for everybody.
Well, again, the United States is that country where we have a very, very short attention span. You are forgotten as quick as yesterday's news, and that's Randy. We could delve into a whole lot of other different areas here right now to talk about. That's one of the problems that's happening here inside the United States. People don't realize all the freedoms that we had before, and so it's all about the education. It's what are your priorities in life? There is a reason why everyone's trying to come to the United States. The United States truly is the land of opportunity.
Absolutely. How can people get in touch with you? How can they, I know that you're looking at going to other places to do seminars. How can they reach out to you?
Probably the easiest way is just going to my website at dansevern.com. DANSEVERN. dansevern.com. Can't make it any easier than that. My contact information is on that. Usually emails is the best way of getting with me.
Awesome. Let me know when you get back to Tampa or Jacksonville, where I saw you not too long ago. All right. Everybody sitting down with Dan Severn, and I appreciate your time. We'll talk again soon.
Randy,
thank you, sir.